Something big's about to happen. Let's look into that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First off, a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. Thank you for liking, watching, commenting on the videos, sharing the videos, watching the videos all the way to the end. These are the things that really get the videos out to more people. So for that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, my good friend Ann and I released a video earlier about ways that we can do to protect ourselves from autocrats, in particular the felon. So I'll link that video below. Check that out, see if it resonates with you. Um, it feels like something big's about to happen. We had the new moon on Monday, uh, and so the moon's been growing all week. And it feels like the energy's growing. It doesn't necessarily feel like whatever big is going to happen is necessarily bad for everyone. It feels like well, look at the weather because last time that's what it turned out to be. When I had this feeling, I want to also look at junior varsity VANCE and see if perhaps there's something that's going to come out on him or his marriage in particular. We'll look at the SNAP benefits that, is the government shutdown going to prevent them from going out in November, which would hurt millions of people. So let's look at that as well. We'll look at just the shutdown in general. Maybe there's a shutdown deal that's gonna happen and it's gonna make people feel better because the government will be functioning. And then, we'll just take a quick look to see if the felon's going to do something crazy. Um, wouldn't surprise me. He's getting more and more crazy as we go. So, as he gets crazier, I think is when we need more protection. That's why I did that video with Anne. Um, and check it out. It's very metaphysical and um, so yeah. Let's first look at the SNAP benefits. Will SNAP benefits go out on time in November? SNAP benefits go out in time in November. They go out in time. It feels like a cruel game, Republicans playing with this stuff and people's health care, but if you ever thought they did care about you, I'm confused as to why. Um, maybe the chariot card uh is a good sign. And we do get the Knight of Wands messages coming out. Um, I'm not completely convinced yet. We do get stability with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, my fear is that Democrats cave and let SNAP benefits go forward in exchange for just opening up everything and letting them cut health care. Um, because maybe that's selfish of me. It very well could be. I'm not on SNAP benefits. If you're on SNAP benefits, I think you probably have a different opinion of that. Um, but chances are, if you're on SNAP, you're also probably on Medicaid too. So it's a tough energies. We do get a complete and utter downfall of the Ten of Swords, the end of a dark cycle, and I'm going to take it as the end of a dark cycle, and a warning that if they don't, that it's probably the downfall of Republicans. The Five of Wands at the center. There's going to be a lot of fighting about this, a lot of debate. We're going to hear more about this. It's going to become a real news story, and actually covered. So yeah, we'll get light shown on this possibility that no SNAP benefits go out, um, which millions of people rely on, and rightfully so. It's their benefits. We get the Two of Sword choices needing to be made. We get the Felon, the King of Pentacles, and we get the Truth. So I think, you know, Democrats are pushing things forward. There's a lot of fighting, and they want the public to know the truth about all of this. Um, at the same time, there's choices to be made, and they're fighting for things, but they still want to be seen as stable. I think the cycle ends one way or another. I think people find out about it. Uh, I think probably the shutdown doesn't end in the way Democrats want. Um, so do SNAP benefits get sent out on November 1st? Would you get wish fulfillment and a crossroads? I think somehow it's negotiated to where they do. I don't know if that ends the shutdown. Um, but I feel like they somehow get like, a kind of a tit for tat, like you're gonna fund SNAP in exchange will fund the housing supplements for military families, which are also not going through. So um it's a tricky situation there for sure. Let's hope everybody is okay, I think is the best way to hope. Okay, so what do we need to know about the weather? Is there anything you need to know about the weather? I'm not picking anything up, but last time I didn't need it until I started throwing the cards. So, and then we had that flood in Alaska and other little events. Um, that was the Eight of Wands, things happening fast. It's hard to keep up with the weather, and we don't have good forecasting in the same way that we used to. Now it is getting colder in a lot of parts of the northern hemisphere, which lessens the likelihood. Um, but not always. We've had tornadoes in November before. We've had tornadoes in October before. Um, yeah, the Seven of Swords. Maybe there's some sneakiness around how the weather forecasting system works. Maybe there's more on that. It does feel like we're taking a gamble here with the Wheel of Fortune. When we get the Ace of Wands, new leadership. I think we kind of lost that in the government shutdown that somebody was either nominated or confirmed to run parts of the National Weather Service. That was a complete Trump, the felons sycophant. I think that already happened though. The Two of Swords choices. We get the Page of. Oh, I'm sorry, no, we get Justice. Uh, things being balanced. These aren't bad cards. We do get betrayal in the environment around, but I mean, don't we all feel betrayed? Um, yeah. We get toxicity, mis and disinformation, misdirection, the devil card, um, the Three of Cups circles of support, and then abuse of power. You know what this feels like? It feels like they're toying with the weather system, like they're playing with the people that are employed. That's what it feels like to me. Is gonna something along those lines is gonna happen. I don't think it's actually a weather event, but just feel like something happens here. There's deceit, deception. Ultimately, we'll get justice, but currently we're in this abuse of power type of energy. Um, and we have this toxicity and mis and disinformation with the devil, which passes through justice and leads to new leadership. So things get fixed eventually, but right now it things like seems like it's in a bad spot. The Wheel of Fortune, just feel like it's a gamble, to rely on the weather forecasting system. I feel like we have to make our own choices. I think we'll regret if we just rely solely on some of these things. Now, I think, the Weather Channel they're doing the best they can, right? They just only have the resources they have. Um, and circles of support. Maybe there's some firings because of the shutdown too. It could be that. We do get the end of a cycle, legacies, the Ten of Pentacles, and a new beginning with the Fool card. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible that there's something there. It doesn't feel like an actual weather event though, just involving all the protections we've put in place over the years. But do we need to know about the shutdown? We need to know about the shutdown. Know about the shutdown. Doesn't feel like there's much progress here, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't end, right? Because if, they just do a 2 week thing just to pay the SNAP benefits and stuff, that wouldn't feel like much progress. But you get the Eight of Cups, walking away from things that don't serve us anymore. It's just feel like more and more Republicans coming out against the approach. You get the Spy in the Camp, though, the Page of Swords. This uh, very much feels like a few hardline Republicans. Uh, and we get the Ten of Pentacles, inheritance, legacies, ends of cycles as well. The Two of Wands, crossroads. Um, the Nine of Pentacles, that's a good card at the center, having everything that we need, maybe not everything that we want. The Four of Cups, being handed something, some sort of deal, perhaps. And we get the Ace of Wands again, new leadership, a spark, some sort of inspiration. We get the Knight of Pentacles, things coming forward, particularly around money. I feel better about the SNAP benefits now, but juggling money overseas influence. I think the shutdown's not working. I think people are getting ready to walk away from it. I think a deal will be had. It's just a matter of working out how to juggle the money. I think, it's going to take somebody new to bring the idea to the table. It's certainly not going to come from Chuck Schumer or John Thune. It's going to come from somebody else. Uh, and the reason is people are worried about their legacies. It's not a great reason to end the shutdown, but that's the reason. Yeah, there's some people behind the scenes that are really needling Republicans and Democrats both, but mostly Republicans. This is a pretty big crossroads. It does feel like we're given something to end the shutdown that none of us really like. Republicans don't like it, Democrats don't like it. So that possibly could be a good thing. Um, and yeah, messages on money. Does this really go into November? It's possible it might. We get the card for the Democrats and protection. So the protection of democratic ideals, I think, and stability, the Four of Pentacles, and then the Sun card, and nurturing from the Empress card, nurturing what the ills that we have, the Four of Swords. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a. It seems like things are closer next week to a deal. And if they're close, if they feel that they're close to a deal, I think Democrats might go for like a 2 week thing, which, to ensure SNAP benefits and military pay, that kind of stuff. So it's definitely possible that things work out okay here. I want to look at Vance and his marriage, which I don't really understand what she's doing with him. It makes no sense. Like everything about him is fake. Nick Fuentes, the Nazi, is calling him out for being fake. Everything about him's fake, from his name to the things he's done in life. Um, I just don't think these are the ideals that she stands for. Uh, Can you tell us about that? Tell us about that. Tell us about their relationship. It's transactional. It's the Six of Pentacles. That's all it is. There's nothing more to it than that. I'm not sure what she's getting out of it at this point, though. I think that's the issue. The Hermit card, yeah, she's feeling more and more isolated. She does not like the felon, and I don't think she particularly likes her husband. Um, the Wheel of Fortune. I don't think this marriage will last. It might last till after he's out of politics, though, just out of transaction. For entertainment purposes only. I could be right, I could be wrong. These are just tarot cards. Um, yeah, she definitely doesn't like the felon. Actually, I have no idea what she's doing, and it doesn't excuse what she's doing, but it is kind of like when you're in the airport and you see this, are you a victim of human trafficking? Call this number. I wonder if she has that number to call. Is what it kind of feels like. Like she doesn't really want to be there. Guardrails, the Nine of Wands. Feels like he might have put up some sort of protection, the loss card, Five of Cups, to make sure that this transaction lasts until he's out of politics. The Truth, the Ace of Swords, and then the Spy in the Camp, the Page of Swords, which I feel like is her, and defending herself, the Seven of Wands. And I think she got into this kind of transactionally. I think there's guardrails that make it hard for her to leave. But she's definitely concerned about all the things she has to defend being associated with this administration. The truth eventually come out, all the deals. And I don't think this marriage lasts. I don't think it ends until after he's out of politics, or at least out of no longer president or vice president. Um, she feels very isolated. The abuse of power really hits her hard. I don't think she's actually, you can hate me if you want. I don't think she's actually as evil as they are. Although she made a deal with them, so you can take that as you want. I feel like she tells all at the end of the day, though. Um, yeah, the whole marriage is deceit and deception, dishonesty. The children were to try to there to make it look legitimate. Just sad. Um, and eventually, there's this new beginning. When's this new beginning happens at Temperance, which is um could symbolize the end of the felon, or the end of his Vance being president, is what it feels like to me. So I don't think anything's going to break this week on that. I think the big story is probably around the shutdown and the weather, but let's take a look at the felon. We never know what sort of craziness he's going to do. Um, he's getting worse and worse and worse. It's getting scarier by the day. What do we need to know about the felon? What do we need to know about the felon? Need to know about the felon for the next week or so. You should be going to Asia at the end of next week, or the middle part of next week. It's probably when he leaves. Get the Ten of Cups. This could be an Epstein thing. More Epstein information coming out wouldn't be surprising. It's also the end of a cycle. It's also families, reunions, and celebrations, but that doesn't really fit for him because I don't think his family really likes him. Here he is in his own reading, the King of Pentacles. And the Six of Swords, he's taking a trip. He'll be on an airplane. So I'm going to take that card. Uh, hmm. We get the Sun card. So this is the Unveiled Tarot, and the roller coaster's going down, which reminds me of sundowning, which makes me wonder as this cognitive decline gets more and more serious, do these trips really start to show it, right? Because he's not sleeping as much as he should, and evening is day, day is evening. Uh, the Ace of Cups, something surprising here. Just feel like we get something surprising. The Two of Swords, he definitely treats people like pawns. Um, the Eight of Cups, walking away from things that don't serve us, or in his case, that he thinks doesn't serve us. It's kind of a scary card, actually. And the Queen of Cups, you know, tranquility, peace of mind, emotional maturity, mm, complete and utter downfall, the end of a cycle, the Ten of Swords. It just it feels this way. It feels like something probably comes out about Epstein. This shakes things up, and we're just getting really close to the end of the cycle of him being here or at least being in charge. Uh, just feel like he does something bad here with the Eight of Cups, which I mean does something bad almost every day. So, but the fact that he'll be on an airplane and that symbolizes moving out of trouble, the Six of Swords, makes me wonder. Here he is. I think he has some cognitive issues while he's in Asia. He'll probably lash out. You know, he thinks everything's a game. And we're kind of left here picking up the emotional baggage from the craziness he's caused for everybody in the US. The Chariot card, that's also an Epstein kind of card. And then we get the Church, the Pope, the Courts, the Hierophant. And we get the Mob, just special card to this deck. Expect more protests soon. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's a gamble, but ultimately we end up at justice. So yeah, expect him to do something crazy or something crazy to happen to him. I think the SNAP benefits will be okay. I do. I hope that's right. I'm not sure that that ends the shutdown. I think it might just delay it for a little bit. So, all right. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with another video soon.